Hello and welcome to the 2021 Overtures Showcase. I'm Signature's Managing Director Maggie Boland. After having to cancel Overtures 2020, I cannot overstate how excited I am to see this happening again, even if it's happening here on YouTube instead of in the Max Theater at Signature. This showcase is the culmination of 2 intense weeks of musical theater training for 20 college students and recent graduates. Under the direction of Signature Associate Artistic Director Matt Gardner and Signature Education Director David Zobel, these students have worked with nearly 30 working theater artists and professionals on to working in the industry. And because of the successful rollout of the vaccine, many classes were able to be held under strict safety protocols at Signature, allowing the students to work on transitioning from working in their basements and apartments to working in person again. We're especially grateful for the core Overtures faculty, Matthew Gardner, who directed the showcase you're about to watch, Tracy Lynn Oliveira, the program's voice teacher, Ricky Tripp, the program's dance instructor, Gregory Waddell, the program's acting instructor, and Matt Strout, Signature's education program manager. We are also so thankful to the generous donors who support Overtures, including fellowships to assist with tuition. This year's program provided an unprecedented 10 of 20 students with fellowship support. I won't name all of our supporters now, but you'll see their names on the screen. To those of you who have supported Overtures, we thank you. These students are better artists because of your contributions. And now it's showtime. As you watch the show, throw your congratulations and support in the live chat and comments. Friends, I am so proud to introduce you to the 2021 class of Overtures.
So, I am on the 6 train heading uptown to my lit professor's office. It's like light years off of campus, don't ask me why. I'm sandwiched in between this guy who's literally drooling and this European hipster who, well, let's be honest, smells Woody Allen heard Gershwin in the air when he thought Manhattan. Well, I'm not so impressed. I hear like Philip Glass at best. I spend all my time just trying to get calm, but it's not working because my lit professor tells me that I'm flunking out of grad school. I was not aware that flunking out of grad school was a thing, and I'm spending all my savings paying rent and eating pizza, not to mention that this morning I found out my dog, died. I don't remember the Muppets getting hives when they took Manhattan, but my own diagnosis is I'm creeping towards psychosis because I cannot find a place to get calm. It's really hard, you know. I tried to take up yoga, but you'd be surprised how many folks don't think deodorant is zen. I even saw a life coach who told me I should breathe. Just breathe! But every time I took in a breath, I visualized that life coach's death. She's having brunch at Cafe Pierre, and she's choking and choking and choking and choking till finally she's calm. I'm sorry, anyway, my lit professor tells me that my thesis on Virginia Woolf is dangerously close to winding up and incomplete. I tell him what I'm working from is not so much a thesis, but the fact that she went crazy, and that seemed, well, apropos. My professor just tosses back his head, and a dry Manhattan. I wonder which will kill him quicker, the Big Apple or the liquor. But suddenly I panic and I realize that I must get someplace calm. I up and run toward Penn Station like I swear my head was ready to blow. And I hop a train to Jersey just as fast as any person can go. And 90 minutes out I get off at some provincial hamlet I've never heard of. There's a real estate office right on the block. I can afford a 2-bedroom. I go into shock. I think, what the heck? I write a check. 'Cause there's sunlight and closets and laundry. But mostly, it's calm, 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 calm. really calm. Strangely calm. Like Times Square at 5 a.m. calm. Like totally freak me out calm. Like I'm gonna slowly go crazy and throw myself off of a balcony calm. Damn it. So, I tear up my deposit, then I head back to Penn Station. Of course, the subway's broken, so I walk 4 miles home. And like 14 hours later, I get back to my apartment with my crazy spastic roommates in a room, well, of my own. I've got this black and white poster on my wall that says my Manhattan, and I give it the finger, but I let my gaze linger, and I notice how the buildings line up perfectly in rows, how the city has been planned and how the city planning shows. And suddenly I'm struck with this bizarro inspiration to figure out a plan to fix my muddled dissertation. I sit on my bed and I realize I'm finally calm.
So I saw this movie last week, and it was pretty good. Well, it wasn't. Yeah, it had guns and such. Not by any stretch of the imagination, was it? Not that any of them are these days. It's not that I'm bitter. People say, oh, she's an actor who's not so she must be kind of bitter, and I am bitter. That doesn't mean movies don't suck, right? I mean, they do. They're largely unwatchable, except for maybe 3 movies a year that are fantastic, even though no one really goes to see them. So they really don't do a whole lot more than make the rest of us feel like total failures because we can't even get cast in the other bullshit everyone else makes. Not that I think that I'm a failure. I mean, that is something other people deal with. Me, I am fine with where I am. I really am. Anyway, so I went to go see this movie. It was pretty typical guns, explosions, a plane crashes, get down, get down. I mean, the whole movie was like this. And the dialogue. And, people get paid millions. I mean millions to write things like, get in the truck. And that's considered successful. I mean, successful screenwriting. But, I'm not bitter. Anyway, and I say this without bitterness, I auditioned for this movie. And I did. I went in, and I'm a trained actor, and I yelled, get down, get down. I was pretty good. I gave a fantastic reading of that and other timeless bits of dialogue. And I didn't get it, which is fine, and I really have better things to be doing with my time, and it's not like, but the hilarious fact is, he starred in it. I couldn't even get a 3-line part, and he starred in it. And okay, you know what? Maybe I am a little bitter. That just doesn't change the facts.
I won't mind sitting by your cradle, singing to you softly, far into the night. I won't mind playing peekaboo for hours to see the look of wonder and light. Soon they'll be asking, where is baby's nose? Where is baby's shoe? Where is baby's hat? Clever little boy, they'll say, Lizzie taught him that. quacking like a duck, chirping like a bird. I won't mind when you ask me to repeat it till you can say it with me, knowing every word. You needn't worry if there's chocolate on your hands, jelly on your face, porridge on my skirt. Run to me and I'll be there to hold you when you hurt. They'll say Auntie Lizzie can't say no. They'll say Auntie Lizzie's spoiling you. They'll say Auntie Lizzie's wrapped around your finger. I'll say, yes, it's true. I won't mind knowing that your mother showers you with kisses, bakes your favorite bread. I won't mind when I see your father lift you and swing you to his shoulders high above my head. They may be busy, I can take you skating, I can take you sledding, flying down the hill. If they won't build a snowman, Auntie Lizzie will. They'll say Auntie Lizzie holds too tight. They'll say Auntie Lizzie can't let go. They'll say Auntie Lizzie's really not your aunt anyway. You'll say no, that isn't so. In my mind, I will keep a secret, funny little secret, hidden from the rest. In my dreams, you're my own, my very own, and I shower you with love as I hold you to my breast. Lizzie, he's not yours. Lizzie, in his life, your part is very small. But if one day a toy should break, or maybe playing patty cake, you call me Mama by mistake. I won't mind at all.
Stranger, I'm feeling stranger than I've ever felt before, and so much more different, like something old has joined with something new, but still feels true. I'm passing through a rite that every parent does. I'm walking on some shared familiar ground, yet every step I take is not a step that was. And I found I like the sound of stranger. The child I've yet to meet becomes my everything, my song to sing. Father, and suddenly the weight of it is real. What do I feel? I feel connected in a way I've never known. In line from dad to me to newborn son. So from today I'll never make a choice alone. One for all and all for one. And when he's born, I'll teach him how to use his common sense. He'll listen and he'll learn and he'll excel. I'll tell my son that life is lived in clear and present tense. not only in the stories we can tell. My father told me stories I could never comprehend. In every tale he'd claim to be the hero. I've tried to understand him, but I wonder if I can. Because after almost 30 years, I still don't know the man. I wish I knew the man, but he's a stranger. My father is a stranger I know very well. A puzzling shell, hopeful. What's on its way will help us both to grow. But I don't know when I'll understand what made him wild. I don't know why he has the urge to fly. I wanna face him like a man and not a child. So I'll try, I'll really try. And in time, my boy is sure to see brighter days for Dad and me. We can do things better than before, so that strangers we will be no more.
Fifth grade was a big year for me. I noticed girls who noticed me. Mom was den chief, Dad played taxi singing, leader of the band. Then Dad fucked this girl religiously, handpicked from the Handbell Society. Mom left pissed off, I dyed my hair green and auditioned for a show. I was growing up, learning how to swear in Jesus' name. Growing up, forced to understand what I can't, and still the last one picked in every kickball game. First came a role in Hello Dolly. What next? Homosexuality? Mom brought flowers. Dad was busy, though we lived a mile away. The rest of high school's a blur to me. I noticed girls didn't notice me. Mom had self-help, Dad should get some, and I needed to get laid. I was growing up, learning that I love you doesn't mean shit. Growing up, forced to pretend I'm alright, and acting like my father, and hating myself for it. Next came a BFA degree. I found drinking, no drinking found me. Painful dating, then graduating in debt and unemployed. Then Dad called unexpectedly with excuses to recite to me. Blamed his childhood, blamed his father, and I laughed. And I hung up the phone. And I refused to cry. And I let it go. Swinging from my family tree, I climb and find myself part of a brilliant legacy of men who never forgave, men who won't forget, who never measure up with all that's come before and all that's left to sing. My dad is still my dad, and I wouldn't change a thing. Growing up.
Turn your eyes from the great unknown. Why not stay where you are and leave well enough alone? Close your ears to mysterious music. Never mind that it's lovely and low. Never mind all these traces of places that you'll never go. If I had the wings of a bird or a bee flying high above the branches of the highest tree, I'd search for brand new places all the time. I've no wings, it's true, it's the same old view, and until I do, I'll climb. Far away, there's a blue horizon. Far away, there's a wild land. Far away, where the green familiar meets the gold of the golden sand. Far away, I can hear the music, though it's faint. I can hear it call, and it sings out to me. If you try, then you'll see this different world isn't far away at all. One more branch and the leaves will part, and the birds will make room as they hover. One more branch and the music clears, and the mystery is mine to discover. I've heard tales of mountaintops where things called horses fly. Someone saw them, told the story. Tell me, why can't I? Far away, there's a song that I can't ignore, like the wind when it turns to thunder, and it can't hold the rain anymore. Far away, there's a world that's waiting, I can see, though it's very small, and it seems far from here, but it's perfectly clear. This different world isn't far away at all.
Another winter, the renters go home. The maple goes from crimson to brown. Oh God, my God, another winter in a summer town. The beach is empty, they cover the pools, the patio umbrellas come down. Oh God, my God, another winter in a summer town. One little leaf adrift in the breeze refuses to fall from the sky. Blown by the wind, it clings to the tree, unwilling to wither and die. The summer's over, but I'm still a girl, cavorting in my carnival crown. From blossom to blossom, I buzz like a bee, then glance in the mirror, and who do I see? A middle-aged woman inhabiting
'cause it's winter in a summer town. Yesterday's dreams, a faded bouquet, roses that died on the vine. Yesterday seems more real than today. It's difficult drawing the line. My season ended a long time ago, but no one took the party tent down. The pink paper lanterns still twinkle in place. My young Navy hero, his tender embrace. That sapphire blue ocean, oh, how can I face another winter? Oh God, oh God, my God.
No. Rena, people believe what they want to believe, what they set their minds to believe. I know what it looked like when I was gone all the time, not bringing home any money, but you could have at least noticed that I was tired. You could have said, Darnell ain't talking too much because he's tired. You could have noticed I didn't act like somebody ran the streets, that I didn't come home smelling like alcohol or perfume, that I didn't dress like somebody running the streets. If you would have thought it all the way through, you would have noticed how excited I was when I got that UPS job, how I asked you if I could take it. You would have noticed I was planning things, that I wasn't sitting around and drinking beer and playing cards, how I would get up early on a Sunday just to make a few extra dollars before the Jitney station opened. But you ain't seen all that. You ain't seen the new Darnell. You're still working up your memory, but the past is over and done with. I'm thinking about the future. You're not the only one who thinks about Jesse. That's why I'm trying to do something different. That's why I'm trying to buy a house. Maybe I should have told you about the house. Maybe I did do it wrong. But I done it. I tried to show you I love you. But what did I get for it?
If you wanna know why I've roving eye for every cute guy passing there, I just wanna try before I buy the bargains and husbands ready to wear. 'Cause a man isn't like an expensive sweater or department store dress on the rack. If you wrap him up and take him home and then see something better, nobody but nobody will take him back. So I'm shopping around, just looking, where men are concerned. I'm just shopping around. A girl must compare men for wear and for tear before she buys. If she wants the best, then she just has to test all kinds of merchandise. So while I'm still young, I'm testing. Don't wanna get stung. No, sir, not little me. The bridegroom to be carries no guarantee. So if you want the best to be found, you gotta keep shopping. Leisurely shopping, not buying. I'm just shopping around. I was brought up in taffeta dresses and taught to be pretty and precious, spending my playtimes with plastic princesses who all had those bodies just utterly ludicrous. Minuscule waists and huge boobs, and it's all nippleless and no pubes and no creases. I mean, Jesus, it's pretty confusing, especially at 6. In that fairy tale world, all the girls end up happy ever after, wooing their knights in shining armor. But some nights down the track, you can bet they'll be trapped, spending nights in shining armor. While their knights spend their nights at a bar or at a ball with some harlot. I'm not bitter, it's just better that I don't fall for all that romantic bullshit now that I'm older. Although I don't mind the thought of being tossed over a shoulder and trotted off to a mansion by some ruggedly handsome man in a fireman helmet and have him just use me for sex. As I say, it's a little complex. One day, someday, my prince may come, but it doesn't seem likely. And even if he came and he liked me, it's likely he'd be not quite my type. Someday, they say, he'll come riding up on the back of a horse. But of course, I'm allergic to horses. How will I tell him? He'll just have to sell him. I went to school with a girl, I remember her well. She was pretty smart and pretty as hell. Her folks had a farm, but she didn't stay, of course. She wanted Prince Charming, so she went to LA, of course. Managed to seduce a famous actor or producer, shacked up in a house on a hill with a cat and a juicer and a fancy car and a tennis court. But the guy wasn't quite the catch she thought she'd caught. He treats her like trash, and then you know the drill. Takes his cat and his cash and finds some younger girl. So she's left with this stupid Corvette and an empty swimming pool which she fills with regret. Smart girl, but kinda dumb. And I'd rather be lonely than sit on my fanny waiting for my prince to come. One day, someday, he'll come sweeping in and sweep me off my feet and spend the next 4 decades wanting to cheat on me, getting less handsome and fighting his dragons. He'd know what to wear, he'd have a full head of hair, and his eyes will be brown, blue, or green, I don't care, and his body will be toned with those pecs like you get at the gym.
but he won't spend all his time at the gym. And he'll love reading books, he'll be an excellent cook. He'll be good looking, but not too aware of his looks. He'll be tender but tough, and smart but not smug, and attentive but not fawning, and he'll smell good in the morning, and he'll dance. And like hiking and baking and biking, I'm not picky, I just ask that he likes me and I like him. And I'd rather be alone if the only other option is to come and settle down with some condescending clown. The great rating from some dating service, some self-professing Mr. Perfect, another narcissistic legend made $1 million out of hedge funds. Another sexually ineffectual, self-obsessing metrosexual, pseudo-intellectual, getting drunk and existential every time the Steelers lose a game. Thanks, but perhaps some other day. One day, someday, my prince may come, but I won't hold my breath. There's only divorcees and weirdos left. Weird is fine, but not all the time. One day, someday, my prince will come. So the fairy tale said. 30 years later, it's still in my head that if I screw a frog, I will wake in a 4-poster bed.
I could stay right here and give back the boy his book. But if I stay right here, he'll think that I'm a nun and I am not a nun. He'll think that I am chaste, and I'm not that chaste. Or I could run away, leave his book on the shelf by the lube and the lingerie. But that means it's over, whatever this is, and I really think I should wait, though it's hard to articulate why. Or I could stay right here and shake this habit off. Just stay right here and say hello and say my name. Say here's your book and what a place, and hey, let's keep in touch. But that's way too much. It's hard to go unseen, at least in this instance with so little distance between me and the boy and his book and the shop and the wow. I take a step to get out, but my feet forget how. No, it's me, just me against the door. This isn't what I thought, although I think I want some more, but not right now. Now I need to go. I'm not finished with the boy, I mean the book, so I will hold him, hold it till tomorrow.
You don't need to love me or tell me that you do. Don't make me any promises. Just promise we're not through. Don't give me one damn thing, I won't let you call this greed. Just let me give to you, that's the only thing I need. I know that this can work, if we plant one simple seed, you'd see it grow. You don't need to love me to know. You don't need to need me. It's better that you don't. If each of us can walk away, it won't matter that I won't. We'll both be self-contained, but together, not alone. You can keep me in the dark, hell, it's all I've ever known. We both could use a friend who will always check the phone and take the call. You don't need to need me at all. Let me be your
your emergency contact, your occasional +1, your excuse to take a sick day when the forecast calls for sun. We can keep on being lonely, but we don't have to be apart. And I'll never even ask you to let me have your heart. So I'll never break your heart. No, I'll never break your heart. You don't need to love me to let me help you through. You don't need to confide in me. I've got crap enough for two. You don't need to answer. I'll know before you do. But hear me and believe me that you don't need to love me the way that I love you.
There are words he doesn't say softly in your ear. There are words he doesn't say, words you need to hear. There are places where he doesn't go that he used to go before. All the words he doesn't say, and you miss them more and more. He doesn't say that he admires you. He doesn't praise you very much. He doesn't say that he admires you or that he hungers for your touch. So many words he doesn't use now, those little names you used to share. And there are days he blows his fuse now, and there are nights he's just not there. There were words he left behind as the years went by. There are words that come to mind, words that make you cry. You have seen the gap between you grow. It gets wider every day, and you wonder what's behind all the words he doesn't say. He used to say what he was feeling, and there are dreams that he confide. He used to say things so revealing that you could see the pain inside. Now there are no words when he's hurting. He leaves you hanging in the air. And there are no words when he's flirting or leaving fingers through your hair. There are words he doesn't say, though he knows he should. There are words he doesn't say. In a way, I would. The truth is you deserve them so, and they're long past overdue. All the words he doesn't say are the words I say to you.
this block, there's a garden tucked away behind this carriage house. I can see it from the window, stretching toward the sidewalk. And though I look there every day, I've never found the entrance to this perfect little place I'd like to go. But still, it's one of my favorite places, one of my most favorite places, a patch of green I've only seen from much too far away. When I was 5 or 6, I started drawing crayon-colored pictures of a little town that floated high above the treetops. And every night I'd fall asleep and dream that I could fly there, that I built this floating kingdom in the sky. But still I try, 'cause it is one of my favorite places, one of my most favorite places. But here's the twist, it can't exist, so why do I keep thinking that it does? All my life, I've imagined all these places, sketching each and every blueprint in my mind. And all I want is someone who can help me reach these places that I dream about, but never seem to find, because all of my favorite places, all of my most favorite places, are places that I've never been. I wake up and he's beside me, sleeping well into the morning. I like watching how the sunlight trickles down his shoulder. And though I've tried so many times to tell him that I love him, I haven't found a way inside his heart. But it is one of my favorite places, one of my most favorite places, one more favorite place I've never been.
It wasn't nothing to you, but it was something to me. To have you just up and walk out like that, what you think happened to me? Did you ever stop and ask yourself, I wonder how Vera doing? Wonder how she feel? I lay here every night in an empty bed, in an empty room. Where? Someplace special? Someplace where you had been? The same room you walked out of, the same bed you turned your back on, you give it up and you want it. What kind of sense that make? You had what you wanted, and I didn't. That make you special. You just one of them special people supposed to have everything they want, just the way they want it. Floyd, I wanted to know where you was bruised at, so I could be a woman for you, so I could touch you there, so I could spread myself all over you and know that I was a woman, that I could give those things only a woman has to give a man, and he would be satisfied. How much a woman do you think it make you feel to know you can't satisfy a man? So he could say, yes, Vera, a woman. That's what you say, but you never believed it. You never showed me all those places where you was a man. But you went to Pearl Brown and you showed her. I don't know what she did or didn't do, but I looked up and you was back here after I had given you up. After I had walked through that empty house for a year and a half looking for you. After I would lay myself out on that bed and search my body for your fingerprints. Oh, you touched me here. He touched me here. Floyd touched me here, and he touched me here, and he kissed me here, and he gave me here, and he took me there, and he ate here. He ain't here. He ain't here. Quit looking for him, because he ain't here. He's there. There, there, there. He is there in Chicago with another woman, and all I got left is a little bit of nothing, a little bit of touching, and a little bit of myself left. It ain't even here no more, what you're looking for. Will you remember? It ain't even here no more.
Recognize the room. The pictures all have different frames now, and all the chairs are rearranged now somehow. I've thrown out every souvenir. Yes, there've been changes made since you stayed. Never recognize the street. Our favorite stores have different names now. The colors in the trees have changed now somehow. I've hardly thought of you this year. Yes, there've been changes made since you stayed here. The same address, well, more or less. More happens, less matters, I guess. You would never recognize my life. I play a much more careful game now. And when I cry, it's not the same now somehow. I'd hardly waste a single tear. Yes, there've been changes made since you stayed here. You would never recognize the room. You would never recognize the room. You learn to take your coffee black. You learn to drink your whiskey neat. You learn to take your shower cold and sleep untired feet. You learn to order dinner in. You learn to send the laundry out. You learn how to amuse yourself. You learn to live without. You tell yourself you're rich at last in money and in time. You draw a bath and then unplug the phone. You pour yourself a peanut
of 2003. You sit a spell a queen upon her throne. You go to bed alone. You learn to fall asleep alone. You learn to silence ticking clocks. You learn to pull the shades at night and double check the locks. You learn to speak so calmly when your heart would like to scream and shout. You learn to stop and breathe and smile. You learn to live without. You find the coat and tie you thought you'd given to Goodwill. You toss his favorite shoes onto the pile. You see him in the faces of the boys he's left behind. And I paid with every tiny smile, but only for a while. You learn to count the quiet wins, an hour with no unprompted tears, and not to count the deadly days as they fade into years. You learn to stand alone at last, so brave and bold and strong and stout. You learn somehow to like the dark and even love the doubt. You learn to hold your life inside you and never let it out. You learn to live and die and then to live. You learn to live without. You learn to live without. You learn to live without.
Hard as it is in the coming days, I watch my friend in her strange, unnatural state. Don't let her out of my sight. She trails off, stares at nothing, laughs at random, and the letters come. She waits by the window, and I listen at the door until one day I see by the sad look on her face there's a dreadful plan in her heart. I know you are capable of anything. I know you so well, my friend. I know you might just run away. What am I to do? Who do I ask for help? Is it all on me? Is it all on me? But I will stand in the dark for you. I will hold you back by force. I will stand here right outside your door. I won't see you disgraced. I will protect your name and your heart because I miss my friend. I know you've forgotten me. I know you so well, my friend. I know
I won't let you. It's all on me. And I remember this family. I remember their kindness. And if I never sleep again, I will stand in the dark for you. I will hold you back by force. I will stand here right outside your door. I won't see you disgraced. I will protect your name and your heart because I miss my friend. Because I miss my friend. Because I miss you, my friend.
You were erasing everything I was saying that made you uncomfortable. And the stupid thing is, Mark, you talk about thawing. I'm always gonna thaw around you. You're my favorite person. I love absolutely everything about you. I love that you see people enough to see their faults and want to sit with them in that. I absolutely love that, but that's not good for me. It's painful for me when you do that for racists and xenophobes and people who voted for Trump. It hurts me. And you think you're being loving. You are, I guess. But not really. Because I don't think these people need your compassionate understanding. I think they need your compassionate rebuke, and you won't give it to them. And so in some trumped up version of love for your neighbor, you kept wounding me. Keep wounding me. You keep wounding me. So I called it off. And I became the ice queen. But how else am I supposed to keep myself safe?
She hasn't shown a smidgen of emotion in like 50,000 years. She's missing the capacity to care. You could have been caught up in some terrible distress, like choking on a candy bar, and she could not care less, 'cause her heart's not there. She wouldn't know a charitable gesture if it poked her in the eye. She's Mrs. High and Mighty all the time. I'm here taking care of you like morning, noon, and night, and she's all bossy business lady, always so uptight. And that whole thing, I'm so over. God forbid she ever cracks a smile. Being warm and fuzzy's not her style. Have you ever heard her say, "Nice job with your work today," or even give us breaks once in a while? I'm so over that. I'm so over her. Let's go over this, 'cause it's really simple. Me and her and us, we're so over. She makes all the rules, it's so not fair. She picked out that lamp, that stupid chair. She's the boss, but she's not here. So let me drink this nasty beer. And if it freaks her out, well, I don't care.
so over.
It's surprising the things I find myself thinking. I know that I should be upset. Somehow the grim reality hasn't felt very real to me yet. My home is a swimming pool, complete with a brand new moat. But mainly I find something else on my mind. It's amazing the things that float. Pencils and half-empty jars, teacups and cereal bars. There go my shoes like tiny canoes leaving shore. Papa, you've slipped from your frame. I feel like I've done the same. You and I, we could drift out the door. It's surprising the things that rise to the surface. It's more than I'd ever have guessed. Some things that seemed so permanent just get swept up along with the rest. Piles of old diaries, heavy with all I wrote. But wash off the words, and those pages are birds. It's amazing the things that float. Outside, there's nothing but blue. No clouds to break up the view. Limitless lake to cover the acres of corn. All earth is mine to rebuild. A clean slate that waits to be filled. I'm as new as the day I was born. It's surprising the things I find myself missing. There isn't as much as you'd think. Maybe the things that disappeared are the ones that I wanted to sink. Strange, losing everything and leaving my home by boat. But one thing I found in this world without ground, it's amazing the things that float.
There will be a miracle. Stick around and see. You need patience for a miracle. Timing is the key. Could not have happened yesterday, and tomorrow is too late. The moment has to be exact, and until then we have to wait. You can never rush a miracle. You can't force a thing to be. I am desperate for a miracle, but it won't come just for me. We will all share the miracle as everybody should. Little ones, grocery clerks, CPAs, movie stars, battered wives, dying boys, hungry souls, the worst of men along with the good. I always knew there would be a miracle. I wondered when and how. I will see a miracle. There will be a miracle, if not soon. Now.
I thought home was all I'd ever want, my attic all I'd ever need. Now nothing feels the way it was before, and I don't know how to proceed. I only know I'm meant for something more. I've got to know if I can be astonishing. There's a life that I am meant to lead, a life like nothing I have known, and I can feel it, and it's far from here. I've got to find it on my own. Even now I feel its heat upon my skin, a life of passion that pulls me from within, a life that I am aching to begin. There must be somewhere I can be astonishing, astonishing. I'll find my way, I'll find it far away, I'll find it in the unexpected and unknown. I'll find my life in my own way today. Here I go, and there's no turning back. My great adventure has begun. I may be small, but I've got giant plans to shine as brightly as the sun. I will blaze until I find my time and place. I will be fearless, surrendering modesty and grace. I will not disappear without a trace. I will shout and start a riot, be anything but quiet. Christopher Columbus, I'll be astonishing, astonishing, astonishing. At last.
I recommend getting your heart trampled on to anyone. Yeah. I recommend walking around naked in your living room.
jagged little pill.
It feels so good.
Swimming in your stomach.
Wait until the dust settles.
You live, you learn, you love, you learn, you cry, you learn, you lose, you learn, you bleed, you learn, you scream, you learn. I recommend biting off more than you can chew to anyone. I certainly do. I recommend getting your foot stuck in your mouth at any time. Feel free. Throw it down.
The caution blocks you from the wind.
Hold it up
To the rain.
You wait and see when the smoke clears. You live, you learn,
You love.
you learn, you cry, you learn,
You lose, you learn.
you bleed, you learn, you scream, you learn. When